Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade beats Liam Williams over 12 rounds, unanimous decision. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Just finished watching Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Liam Williams. The fight lasted 12 rounds. Demetrius Andrade clearly won, unanimous decision. And I want to give some more of my thoughts. Please, if you like what I'm doing, boxing, post-fight breakdowns, live streams, boxing news and updates, get that all here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. So the fight was cool. It was an entertaining fight, Andrade versus Liam Williams. On my post-fight interviews, I try to give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm going to try to do that here. The good is Demetrius Andrade, he remains a champion. I think it was his 30th fight, somewhere around there. And overall, I thought he looked pretty sharp. Liam Williams, the good for him is he got dropped and hurt badly in the first 2 rounds. He got dropped in the first round, I think it was. It was a 10-8 round. Andrade, both fighters fresh and full of energy at their fullest. And Liam Williams got up, weathered the storm, and closed out. And, there were some moments where he pressured Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, nothing too seriously. And he can at least have solace in he didn't get bodied. He, didn't turn into a viral meme. He didn't get knocked out. And he fought with tenacity, resilience, durability, and heart. So shout out to Liam Williams for that. Now, the bad is this. The bad is another Eddie Hearn UK fighter takes an L, steps up to a world-class level. So far, that's Josh Kelly. Fought David Evanesian, recently lost. Josh Warrington, those are like back-to-back weeks. He lost to the guy Lada, and I wouldn't even say he's world-class level. You have, just in terms of the UK, not just Eddie Hearn's fighters, you have Daniel Dubois. He stepped up in caliber and lost to Joe Joyce, and that set him back. Anthony Yard has 2 losses, Kovalev and Lyndon Arthur. But back to Eddie Hearn's stable, Dillian White recently lost. He just avenged it to Povetkin, but Povetkin looked like there was something wrong, and we keep seeing this. We can go on. Ryan Garcia, American fighter, knocked out Luke Campbell. And you also seen Jamel Herring beat Carl Frampton of Ireland, stuff like that. So it's a lot of, in terms of world level, you got Canelo fighting Saunders. That's a difficult fight. And I think it's a difficult fight for Saunders, is what I'm saying. So I think Canelo wins that. And then you have Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor. So I'm picking Canelo and Jose Ramirez, just like I picked Andrade, and I was successful. So 1 down, 2 more to go. And, we'll see. So bad is just a lot of UK fighters when they're, Kell Brook also there's more. Kell Brook fought Terrence Crawford, got mopped in 4 rounds. And then that same month in December, Caleb Smith, another Eddie Hearn UK fighter, was a champion, and he got relieved of his duties by Canelo Alvarez in a one-sided beatdown. I would say, credit to Liam Williams. At least he didn't look like Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith looked bewildered. Kell Brook, he did all right in the first 2 rounds, and then he got bodied. So, I guess Luke Campbell, by dropping Ryan, and Liam Williams probably did the best, out of the bunch. But Liam Williams at least went the distance, so you got to give him credit for that. And now it's time to discuss the ugly. Now, the ugly for me, this is my personal opinion, Ego, and please print that. DAZN has the worst commentary in the game, in all of boxing. Chris Algieri, he didn't do a bad job, in my opinion, but a lot of the other comments were like nonsense, in my opinion. And there's just, I wish I wrote it down, but that would be a waste of my time so I could recap all of the foolish things. Like early in the fight, Andrade had a 10-8 round, right? And he also hurt Liam Williams, and I thought he was clearly winning the fight. In fact, despite the heart and durability of Liam Williams, I think he won 3 rounds at best, 2 rounds, maybe 3 at best. But the DAZN commentary, it was like they were trying so hard to convince the public that this was, a fight that could get away from the American fighter Demetrius Andrade. So to me, I find that extremely weird. You have a showcase in America, and it's like almost scripted, where the DAZN, American commentators in America, it's like they're almost against the American fighter. They were making it sound like Liam Williams was doing a whole lot. Listen, I give credit where credit's due. He showed heart, and he showed he had a chin, and he was durable. But in boxing, I think far too many people over credit just having heart. Like, that's what I mean, if you could create a player in the sport of boxing, you would want them to be warriors and have heart. That's something you can't teach. But at the end of the day, that's not something that scores you rounds, because you can get pummeled and hit and laced up with combinations and jabbed all night, and you can endure it. There's a lot of fighters, and I think people over glorify that. No disrespect to the legend Arturo Gatti, but you seen Jim Lampley. He had created the Gatti list, and he started just putting people on there, not for their skills, but just guys like Glenn Tapia, I think, made it on the Gatti list one time. And it's just guys who, like, I don't even know where Glenn Tapia is. I don't know. He lost a lot of his big fights. And at the end of the day, it's like we're over glorifying the fact that someone can take a punch, but when it comes to the actual sweet science and scoring the fight, I thought it was almost a landslide from Andrade. However, Liam Williams, having power and having guts and stuff, there were a couple moments where it really just looked like the inactivity from Andrade slowed him down. He looked like he started getting tired, because this guy, and part of that, the credit goes to Liam Williams for just having a crazy presence and pace. But I think a lot of it is also the fact that Eddie Hearn hasn't kept him active in the highest caliber of fights. Like, just think of if you have a real nice car. Like, it don't matter how nice you can have a Tesla, you can have a nice sports car, muscle car. If you don't take care of it, then it's gonna not run right. You know what I'm saying? You can have a Lambo, Ferrari. If you don't get oil changes or put the right gas in it, at the end of the day, it's not gonna run right. And fighters are no different. Our bodies are complex machines. And I think that's more of what it was. To me, if we're being honest, Liam Williams looked like a UK domestic level kind of club fighter. Zero defense, no defense, almost like a Rocky movie. He got hit with like 4, 5, 6 punches, and he was like, yeah, and like yelling, and then he would get hit with some more punches. That's cool. We see the bravado and the machismo and the Ricardo Mayorga, like, hit me, take free shots, but you're losing all these moments. But for some reason, the horrific DAZN commentary, they had Liam Williams early in the fight, like winning like 3-4 rounds or something on Chris Mannix's card. And his post-fight interview with Andrade was horrible. All the questions towards Andrade seemed more negative, like, oh, you said he was going to be easy. It was just like Larry Merchant reincarnated, you know what I'm saying, in a new broadcast, in a new program, right? Where he was, you would think that the guy that won, that looked overall pretty sharp, except for a couple of rounds where he started getting tired. He started strong and he closed strong. That should be important in boxing. He hurt and got a 10-8 round in the first round. Some of y'all don't know ish about boxing and don't know how to score boxing. Also, 11 and 12 were some of Andrade's strongest rounds where he landed the biggest shots. It was rounds, let's say 8, 9, maybe 10, where he started to, look like he was a little bit tired and slowed down. I think round 3 or 4, maybe 4, was a good round for Liam Williams, but it was nothing super. And then DAZN commentary was saying like Andrade was hurt and stuff like that. The criticism for Andrade is, I think he could stop guys, and he has this like weird capoeira, Eddie Gordo, Emmanuel Burton, Emmanuel Augustus type of style, and he's been using it a lot more, where he's using his feet. And I think that could be part of the reason why he got tired, is because he was fighting so awkwardly that the whole fight became like, you know what I'm saying? He was doing it throughout. Like, he has fancy footwork, he's slick, he has defense, but sometimes like Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't use his feet for 90% of a fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's times where he was toe-to-toe with Canelo in the first 3 rounds to fill him out, and then he'll get on his bike a little bit lateral movement. So I think Demetrius Andrade can tighten that up, but I mostly attribute that to he hasn't fought since probably Lucas Keeler, which was like January of whatever, 2019 or 20 or whatever. So it's hard to stay sharp. Liam Williams probably had a fight more recently. But the DAZN commentary was horrible. You know, even post-fight, Eddie Hearn said something to the effect, which I thought was horrific to say about your fighter. Eddie Hearn said something like, Demetrius Andrade was hurt tonight. This is his plea to get Andrade a big fight. He says, Demetrius Andrade was hurt tonight and he was tired tonight. He got tired tonight. So if you're Jamal Charlo and Triple G, you should be looking at him like, I could beat that guy. What type of promotion? This is the guy you guys are saying is promoter of the year, this UK promoter, Eddie Hearn. What type of promotion is that? So Charlo already has a fight lined up, and he tried to, like he's been doing in recent memory, Eddie Hearn tried to ish on that, and he's trying to split. He's trying to create division. You know, it's the oldest trick in the book since slavery, divide and conquer. He's trying to create division between two twins. He keeps propping Jermell Charlo for fighting Castano, but he's in a stacked division. 160 is not super stacked, and there's a lot of politics. And he's trying to split Jermell and Jamal Charlo and keep praising Jermell Charlo. This is what old media does. They try to praise Jermell Charlo and then cop a squad on Jamal Charlo to create division, divide and conquer. But so that was his promotion for Andrade, is saying Andrade was hurt in there and tired in there. And if you're Triple G and Charlo, you should be looking like we can beat that guy. You know, that to me, that's not great promotion for your fighter. And he was like, Andrade will come cheap. You know, he'll be the same as Derevyanchenko. He could fight on DAZN. He could fight on Fox. It doesn't matter. It just sounded very desperate. And the fans in old media trying to let Eddie Hearns deflect from what's really important, you know, sleight of hand trick, because he has all this criticism. First of all, both Charlo brothers, despite his divide and conquer tactics, both Charlo brothers are scheduled for fights. Andrade just had a fight. So to make it look like Charlo was ducking, he's already has his assignment and Andrade was already booked for a fight. But the question that people should be asking is, how come you have Canelo, Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Smith and Danny Jacobs? You had all these guys, and instead of worrying about the one PBC fighter, Charlo, and who he's fighting and what his resume consists of, how come out of all those names, and there's probably more that I missed, you know, that you seem to be able to make, how come you can't make none of those in-house fights? Demetrius Andrade versus Triple G. If you want a unification so bad, why is it he has a belt, even though he really doesn't deserve it because he lost to Derevyanchenko? So it's, once again, it's a deflection tactic to divert and place blame on the black advisor, Al Heyman, and a black fighter, Jamal Charlo, when they have nothing to do with your situation outside of if you can or can't make the fight. But you have in-house fights, you had guys you're working with, and you don't seem to be making none of those fights for Andrade either. And like I said, the post-fight interview with Chris Mannix was horrible. With Andrade, all the questions seem like, oh, was he better than you thought? Just like Larry Merchant used to do to black fighters, right? Like Lennox Lewis and Roy Jones and stuff. It's like, this is the guy who just won. He won convincingly by a wide margin. And the questions are like, you won by a wide margin, but was the fight harder than you thought? You know? And then when you see Chris Mannix or whoever interview Liam Williams, it's all like, oh, good job, you know, get him, Tiger. What part of the game is that in boxing where we celebrate the loser more than the winner? You know, like Liam Williams, I give him props for what he did in terms of it shows you have heart to get dropped and then, you know, try to make a fight of it. But he was losing the fight. That's the whole point. His face was starting to expose the signs of that you've been in a fight. And, you know, you missed a lot of your shot. You didn't really have a game plan. Head is on the center of a line, stuff like that. And in the post-fight commentary, it's just horrible questions. They asked Demetrius Andrade something to the effect of, do you think you inspired the other champions, Charlo and Triple G, to get in the ring with you? And Andrade looked like he kind of resented the comment. I know when I heard it, I was disgusted with it. And I'm like, why? Andrade had a good response. He said, why do I got to inspire people? And he's not wrong. That's absolutely true. It's a unification. Like, they have this fake Tyson Fury Joshua commotion and saying it's an undisputed unification, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's all for that. So when it comes to Andrade, who thoroughly beat this Liam Williams, shout out to him, his post-fight interview, he was cool. He said, oh, he's better than I thought. He was quality. And he was just giving him his props. He said he's slippery. You know, I think I heard him and I got him, but then he would slick out of there and he'd be too slippery. So Liam Williams and Andrade, they look like they buried the hatchet, but the line of questioning was horrible. You know, and people are ragging on Andrade's performance. I don't even think he looked bad. I think he just started getting tired, and some fights are going to be like that. You get in there with the guy who has heart and he's tired and he has power, you know what I mean? Maybe some of the rounds could be chippy. There was a moment where I guess Liam Williams poked his eye. So, you know, there's some chippy moments, but it was definitely nothing that would cause your scorecard to be confused. Andrade clearly won the fight. You know, maybe he didn't respect Liam Williams' tenacity and ability and toughness, but at the end of the day, he convincingly won. And you look at the questions, they're saying, oh, was he better than you thought? And all those types of questions, but they're not asking tough fight questions like Liam Williams, like, why'd you get hit with so many uppercuts? Like in round 5, I think it was round 5, Andrade hit him with like 5-6 uppercuts, really in sequential order, like bop, bop, bop. No tough questions for Liam Williams. So you could tell where the energy was directed. You know, even during the fight, they kept surmising that Andrade was hurt every second. You know, the other guy, it wasn't Chris Algieri, it was the other dude. He just kept acting like Andrade was hurt. And, you know, I just look at the line of questioning. Did you inspire other champions to fight you? What kind of question is that? Shouldn't all champions want to fight the other champions for the fans? And I thought it's the best versus the best. One of the other questions they posed in the fight with Andrade was something to the effect of, if you're a kid taking up boxing, would you want to emulate Andrade's style? Like, what does that have to do with him whooping this dude and hitting him with pretty much all his shots that he's landing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who cares if some mythical imaginary kid wants to fight like Andrade? But these are the types of little innuendos that they plant and seeds that they plant, I guess, in the viewer's mind. And I think that's wrong for Andrade. The bottom line is Andrade, he won the fight. There was no robbery. He started strong and he closed strong, but they were acting like, you know, almost like they were mad he won. Crazy. But that's my post-fight breakdown, the good, the bad, the ugly. Use TubeBuddy. My link is in the description. I have a link tree, or you can go to the TubeBuddy link. That's the way to level up your YouTube content. Like me, I start off with 0 subscribers, over 200,000 and counting. And, you know, entertaining fight is just spoiled by bad commentary. But I didn't have a problem with the fight. It was cool. It was enjoyable to watch. I don't like how they treat Andrade, though. That's my opinion. We working. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.